Can you imagine your sister doing this to you? Fafa and Fulera were sisters, only a year apart, with Fafa being the younger one and Fulera being the older one. But around them, people thought they were twins. They both grew up in the village with their single mother who tried everything possible to take care of them to the best of her abilities. By the time they reached 10 and 11, their mother fell ill and requested that they be sent to their Uncle Philip to take care of them. Uncle Philip took care of the children for 7 years until they were old enough to finally leave the house. Over the years, as they lived with Uncle Philip, Fulera continuously complained to her mother that Uncle Philip was a wicked man, that he treated her poorly, that she really felt that he hated her. And every time their mother would tell them, look, you just manage it. He's not that bad. He's taking care of you. He's doing us a favor. Please, you manage small. It'll be fine and you'll leave the house when you grow up. Eventually, Fafa and Fulera's mother passed away, and both girls decided that it was time to leave and discover their own life. Fulera turned to Fafa, the younger one, and said, look, you're stronger, you're faster, you're much more clever than I. Go to the city, learn something, become someone, and then invite me, and I will join you. That is how Fulera sacrificed herself for Fafa to have a future. Fafa went into the city, hustled upon her arrival, and found a job. Unfortunately, whilst Fulera was in the village, she started some wayward habits. She started to around with men for favors and money, and eventually caught an STD. It continued going downhill from there until the point where she fell pregnant from one of the men and decided to get rid of it. All of that within the span of 2 years. Meanwhile, Fafa had found somebody kind and loving. She'd gotten married, and she was finally ready to invite Fulera to come join her. At that moment, Fulera arrived in the city. It was a brand new start. She lived with Fafa and her husband, and she finally had the opportunity to start again. Until whispers in town started to appear. People started to inform her that Fulera was with her husband. Of course, Fafa brushed all that rubbish aside because she trusted both parties. Until one day, as she was cleaning the house, she happened upon a pregnancy test. She confronted Fulera and said, what is this? Explain to me now. Fulera initially denied and said she has no clue what it is. But upon further questioning, she confessed that she was indeed pregnant and that the father of the child was none other than Fafa's husband. A few hours later, Fafa's husband returns to the house, seeing both women arguing, and realizes that the confrontation was about the baby. In that moment, Fafa's husband sides with Fulera and tells her that, look, Fafa, we've been trying to have a kid. It's not been working. Fulera has blessed me with the fruit of the womb. So talk to her nice. Have respect. That statement broke Fafa's heart. She cannot be in a house where her own husband was with her sister, having a child, and she was supposed to accept it. That very night, Fafa left. With the clothes on her back and the knowledge in her heart, she left and continued her work, eventually building a complete separate life for herself. She also filed for divorce. As Fafa continued to rebuild her life, she eventually met someone new, a young man, an entrepreneur who also had his own money. He loved and saw Fafa for who she truly was and decided to marry her. Fafa was joyful, elated in that moment, and had completely cut Fulera and her ex-husband out of her life. Meanwhile, Fulera, Fafa's ex-husband, and their newborn child had been struggling. The ex-husband had fallen sick and they had spent all their money with treatment. Unfortunately, they no longer had any money to take care of themselves. They tried reaching out to Fafa several times to no avail. Unfortunately, Fafa's ex-husband did not make it, and he eventually passed away. One random night, as Fafa and her new husband were headed towards a gala night in an auditorium, she saw across the road somebody who looked a lot like Fulera, but dirty, starving, and completely disheveled. Fulera tried to wave, but in her panic, Fafa quickly entered the auditorium without a word. Fulera refused to give up. Countless times she went to Fafa's house, getting to the security gate and being turned away. The doorman had been informed to reject all her attempts at entering the house. But Fulera did not give up. She kept going, kept trying, to no avail. A few months later, as she sits in her office, Fafa receives an anonymous letter. Confused, she opens it and it says, "My dear sister, I know I'm the last person you'd want to hear from, I'm really sorry for what I did to you and what I put you through. My life has been an embarrassment and I do not deserve to be among the living. Remember when we were young living with Uncle Philip? He molested me countless times and opened me up to being promiscuous. If you're reading this, it means I'm long gone. Please take care of your nephew for me. You're his only standing relative. I love you so much, my dear little sister, and I'm sorry once again. Goodbye. Fafa quickly searched for origins of this letter and was directed to an abandoned house in the city. Upon entry, she was greeted with a very foul smell. As she stepped into the living room, there she saw, hanging from the ceiling, the body of her older sister Fulera, gone. Fafa is now left to care for a nephew she has never met. Now that's an entangled web. Like, comment, and follow. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at EntangledWebStories. And I'll catch you every Saturday for a new video. And that's all I got for you guys today.